What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 122, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Nelson Oliveira has been injured and will be out for 4 weeks, and also that Fabian Schär has indeed accepted a contract here at Spurs. So we go ahead and look at Schär, and I was sitting there thinking, £13 million for this centre-half, really? Do we really need to sign him when we got players in this side already? Chiriches, Corker, Gutierrez, Lovren as well. Do we really need to sign this guy as well at the centre-back area? So we decided to stall it just for the time being, and of course, because this would be basically all of our budget gone now on one of these final few players, we decided to go in for Ross Barkley once again here at Everton, because he's a player I really would like to get hold of, but unfortunately he does seem to be a little bit too expensive for us. I would imagine he is already into the 80s in the game at just 24 years old. He is of course a huge talent, and Roberto Martinez must value him very highly because he just does not want to see him leave Goodison Park. So we offer £13 million plus Vertonghen. We also look to try and go in for Ravel Morrison, but unfortunately he is also at Everton as well. So Martinez clearly snapping up the young English talent just like I wanted to do. The 25-year-old is currently valued at £13 million, has a very expensive contract as well. And once again, just like Barkley, we go ahead and offer quite an expensive deal. It's £10 million plus Vertonghen, and we'll wait and see what Martinez says there. Afterwards, we see Blackpool aren't going to let go of Thomas Hinds, which is not a real surprise because they just don't want to see him leave Bloomfield Road. And also we've got a transfer offer for one of our random players here, McQuaid, I think that is, CDM, 68 overall, 20 years old. Looks like it could actually be okay in the future, but to be honest, I don't think he's ever going to get into our side. We've got too many good young talents here anyway, so he may as well go. And also, we put in a transfer offer for John Joe Anderson right now at Millwall. Now, this guy was a player we scouted, and we signed him into our club. We scouted him ourselves, not a Scout Future Star. We scouted him ourselves. We put him into the club, into our academy, and we signed him literally a day before leaving to Napoli. So he looked like an absolute monster. He looked like a really good player as such a young teenager. But of course, as we left Millwall, we never got to develop him straight off the bat. So Anderson kind of just got promoted into the Millwall side, and I would imagine never played a single game for them. So the 17-year-old, who is a big talent, isn't really getting the game time at the Den. So I decided to offer a straight swap with Christian Ceballos for him, because I would definitely like to get him in and develop him myself, because if his stats and his potential are anything to go by, when we first scouted him and had him in our academy, I'm sure he could be a very decent playmaker in the future. So we put in a bid for him, and also we go back in for Connor Wickham. Yes, back in for Connor Wickham, because I really do like the guy. What can I say? So we put in another bid for the striker here. We offer Juve plus £10 million, I think it is, and we'll wait and see whether Sunderland want to accept that deal, because Juve looks like a very decent young striker, and Wickham of course is a good one as well, so maybe it's a little bit of a swap deal plus 10 million. We also got a transfer offer for Jan Vertonghen after that. United wanted to take the 31-year-old for £2.3 million, and we decided to accept it because although he is 78 overall, he is on the decrease now, he's on the decline, and I don't really think he's going to get into our side much, considering the fact we have got so many good young centre-backs in his club, also some very decent ones as well. And of course, because of that, because Vertonghen is most likely going to United, I decided to go ahead and accept the Schär deal, because we will lose Vertonghen, but we will sign Schär. So we sign a better deal, sign a better player, sorry, and we lose Vertonghen, but we do get a bit of money back as well. So Schär comes in, or Schär, not sure how you pronounce it, I'm just going to vary between the two. Schär comes in, and just look at those stats, man. He looks like an absolute monster. 97 heading accuracy. That is insane. So Schär comes in, and it is an expensive deal, £13 million, but I think he's going to be worth every penny. He really does look like a very talented player. But we also saw that Gael Bigaramana at Newcastle has handed in a transfer request. He's only 24 years old, 84 overall, looks very good. I did not realise this guy was actually English. I thought he played for Burundi. Is that right? Burundi? I thought he played for them, but instead he's actually English on the game. So of course, with me being this sort of the weirdo that likes to sign as many sort of homegrown players as possible, I thought we'd go in for Bigaramana. He's got some fantastic stats. You can see there, all of his attributes are revealed and none of them are sort of masked, and he has some brilliant passing stats, and I would definitely like to get the guy into our side. So we'll wait and see what happens there. We put in a bid for him, but as he's already courted by a couple of clubs already, I would imagine it will be very difficult to get hold of him. But for today's game, we take on OB here, a Danish side in a Europa League qualifying game. So we take him on at White Hart Lane. And once again, there is only one game in today's episode now. Before everyone says, oh my god, why are you only putting one games in the episode now? What's going on here? The reason being is quite simple. There is so much business going on, and I kind of want to do half and half. So we have half of the episode filled with business, because lots of people like the business side, and also half for game time. So yes, I know some people prefer more business. Yes, I know some people prefer more game time. But to be honest, I thought this balances it out quite nicely. So for the time being, it's just one game. But once we get past transfer deadline day, we will return to having 2, 3, possibly even 4 games per episode. So calm down, don't worry. I know if there's few of you that like the game time a bit more, don't worry, we will see more games in the episodes very soon. But anyway, we do take on OB for this qualifier here, and we rested the majority of the side. Only a couple of players would start this game who we were really focused on playing from the start. You know, first 11 players, really the majority were sort of bench to reserve players. And in the 4th minute, we did unfortunately get an injury as well. Jake Livermore goes down and clutches his knee there, and unfortunately he is injured. He manages to run it off, but it's still an injury regardless. But in the 8th minute here, another great chance for us. Ceballos finds Danny Welbeck, but his shot is well saved by the goalkeeper, and it is still 0-0. But from that, we pick the ball up with Danny Rose. Rose finds Ceballos here, possibly playing his last game for the club. Goes down the left-hand side, crosses it in towards Jake Livermore. The goalkeeper fumbles it. Pritchard's shot is blocked, and then Livermore's shot was always rising and goes harmlessly over the bar. So still 0-0 here, and Jake Livermore could not open the scoring. But in the 31st minute, another great chance for us. Ceballos plays a great free ball to Andros Townsend, who shoots, but he skies it over the bar. So we had some great chances in this game to take the lead, but I just wasn't taking them. And at half-time, I made a double substitution. Vertonghen and Bentaleb came on for Corker and Livermore, I think it was. So Vertonghen coming on for possibly one of his last games, or possibly his last game here at White Hart Lane, as he looks like he's on his way to Old Trafford. And the first chance will come straight from kickoff. Townsend does find Bentaleb just off the bench, and his shot just goes wide of the post. So Bentaleb almost opening the scoring there, literally straight from coming on. But it wasn't going to be Bentaleb who got the goal, it was going to be the other substitute who scored 7 minutes after coming on, and it's Jan Vertonghen, who sports the captain's armband on probably his last game here at White Hart Lane for Tottenham Hotspur, who gets the goal. He is most likely about to join Manchester United, so it's really nice to see him sign off for a goal. He and Guterres both leap to try and win the header, but it's fortunately Vertonghen who gets it, so we're good to see him get a goal on his final appearance here at White Hart Lane. So Vertonghen scores to break the deadlock, 1-0 here, and we made a change just as the hour mark had passed. We brought on Koulibaly for Danny Welbeck here. Is it Koulibaly or Koulibaly? I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but the young Ivory Coast striker anyway, with some decent pace and some decent stats. We bring him on for Danny Welbeck as the game was 1-0. We were playing quite well. Welbeck wasn't really doing that much, to be honest, which was quite a surprise, but we brought on Koulibaly, and in the 62nd minute, a great chance for us here. Guterres lets fly from an absolute mile out, and he almost scores one of the goals of the series. As you guys have been pointing out in the comments so many times, Guterres has some amazing attacking stats for a centre-half, and I'll tell you what, he almost proved it there. What a superb goal that would have been, but unfortunately it was a good save. I know long shots are OP, but even so, really good save by the keeper there. From the corner, it's crossed towards Guterres, but it's headed away. Ceballos wins it, and Guterres strikes it on the volley, but this time the goalkeeper has a bit of a comfortable save, and he keeps the score at 1-0. In the 72nd minute, Koulibaly off the bench wins the ball here and runs down the left-hand side. He plays a lovely little 1-2 with Christian Ceballos. He's running clear on goal, the young man, goes through one-on-one, and he chips the ball over the goalkeeper really nicely to seal the game, surely, and make it Spurs 2, OB 0. So the Danish side, unfortunately, just couldn't really hang on. They were getting dominated all game. Lloris barely had anything to do. It was only going to be a matter of time before we did score the second goal, and it was going to come for our substitute Koulibaly. So the substitutes that came on, Koulibaly, Bentaleb and Vertonghen, all three of them were playing really well, and two of those three, Vertonghen and Koulibaly, had the goals. In the 81st minute, another great chance for us. Danny Rose releases the number 61, through on goal once again. This time I tried to round the goalkeeper and didn't flick the stick quick enough, but the referee still gave a penalty, so the referee gives us a penalty with 7 minutes to go. Also books the goalkeeper, and I have to say, this was not a penalty. This was really harsh on the keeper. This, in my opinion, was never a penalty. He wins the ball clearly before taking the man, and to me, that was a great piece of goalkeeping. The referee gives a penalty though, so we're not going to complain, we're not going to say no to it, but I did have to feel sorry for the keeper a little bit. But it was going to be Koulibaly that would step up. He came off the bench and he scored one goal. Could he now make it 2 goals in just one game here? The young man wearing the number 61 shirt, could he do it? It's the young Ivorian versus the goalkeeper here. He stands up, he takes it, smashes it down the middle, and makes it Spurs 3, OB 0. So we're surely going through to the Europa League group stage. There seems to be there's no way back for the Scandinavian side now, as we take a 3-goal lead in this tie. And he almost scored his hat-trick in the 90th minute with a great strike from range, but unfortunately it did go just wide of the post. But a comprehensive 3-0 victory, all 3 goals scored by 2 of the 3 subs, and I was very, very happy because that does really probably see us through to the Europa League group stage now. Never say never, of course, but I can't see OB coming back from that. But as always, guys, big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave likes, that's much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow morning.